How's it going, everybody? Chris Cart's back through the mail Monday. 7 returns for you today, including our very first one from Santa Ana, California. And we've got Dick Nan. Dick Nan, a former first baseman / pinch hitter. Came up with the Dodgers in 1963. Was a brief part of that World Series championship winning team. Actually got a pinch hit solo home run to tie up a game against the Cardinals in the stretch there. Dodgers went on to win the game in extras in 13 innings, so a very important part of their sweep over the Cardinals, increasing their division lead to 4 games. Of course, they went on to stomp everybody in the playoffs, including sweeping the Yankees in the World Series. Dick Nan, unfortunately, did not have enough, did not qualify for the postseason that year, didn't get a ring or anything like that, so bummer. After that, he went on to play for the Washington Senators and the Chicago Cubs, and of course, yes, his son, former reliever Rob Nan. Dick Nan signed that 64 Topps card very nicely, including, of course, Will Height, who is unfortunately no longer with us, cannot get that completed, but a nice first return, some vintage, 85-year young Dick Nan still going strong. Nice return. Let's move on, guys, to return number 2. Fort Myers, Florida for our second return here. And this one looks like it was opened and resealed, but feels like everything's still in here anyway. And we've got our 74 Padres team card back, signed by Bill Almond. Bill Almond, who was a first-round draft pick out of Brown of the Padres back in 74, which is why I had him sign a 74 Topps card, even though he was a very small part of that 74 Topps team. He was drafted number 1 overall that year by the Padres and did spend the better part of his 15-year career with them. Spent 6 years with the Padres during his 15-year career and 6 other teams the remainder of his career. So Bill Almond, the 5th signature on that card, along with Randy Jones, Dave Roberts, Jerry Morales, Johnny Grubb, and my 6th signature will be another former first-round draft pick of the Padres, and it's going to cost me a little bit of money. Maybe you guys can kind of figure out who it's going to be, but it's certainly going to be my cornerstone here of my Padres 74 Topps team card for my collected set, and it's going to look awesome. Can't wait to get that back and show you guys. Glad to get that one done. Of course, 87 Topps. He was traded to the Mets early on in 1987 for Al Pedrique and some other guy, and that's how he ended up on 87 Topps card. He was actually card number 1 of the traded set. If you didn't know, the traded set that year was in alphabetical order. I'm not sure if it's in alphabetical order most years, but at least this year, or in 87, it was in alphabetical order, which is why Bill Almond was card number 1T. And I actually had him sign the checklist because he was on a checklist there for the traded set, and I said to myself, I need to get a few guys to sign this traded checklist for the signed 87 Topps set. I'm not sure how some of you guys that go after the 87 Topps set handle the checklists, but I figured let's get a few easy signatures on that. And Bill Almond, and yes, I wish his name was Almond with a D because that's how I want to pronounce it, but there's no D. It's Bill Almond. So there you guys go, Bill Almond. Great return. A couple of cards signed for the set. Very nice. Let's move on, guys, to return number 3. The Metroplex in Michigan for our next return. The Metroplex, such a cool sounding name. Sounds like it should be like a finisher name for a tag team or something. The Metroplex. And we've got my letter of request back from Matt Mieske here, who signed on a 93 Topps prospect card. Kind of signed in a dark area. There's really no good place to sign that card unless you sign your face. So not really his fault. Still came out looking pretty cool. We've got a Top Stadium Club card, which came out good with a Bible verse inscription, as well as a glorious 92 Bowman gold foil with that mustache and that shirt. Same photo that's in the 93 prospect card, by the way. A very nice return from Matt Mieske, 8-year career. Spent 5 of those years with the Brew Crew, playing all 3 outfield positions during those 8 years in the bigs. Ryan Freeberg, I can probably get that 93 prospect card signed by him. The other 2 guys, a little more difficult to get, but perhaps I will work on that when the time comes, if these guys ever pop up. Probably not going to do a paid sign and get them signed, but if they start signing through the mail, I'm going to jump all over it. But there you guys go. Matt Mieske, nice return from him. Let's move on, guys, to our next return. Syracuse, New York for our next return, as I fumble the envelope, as I do every now and then, guys, if you pay attention. Every 3 or 4 episodes, envelope just goes flying out of my hands for no reason other than the fact that I've got no dexterity. We've got Jim Clancy here on an 84 Topps card, 80 on Upper Deck, 87 Topps Tiffany, and a 90 top signed very nicely. Guy who is in 3 of my autograph sets. Finally got him after so long. He was a great TTM signer. I'm glad I got him before he just said, forget it, I'm not doing this anymore. But 15 years in the bigs for Jim Clancy. 12 of those with the Blue Jays. In fact, he was an OG Blue Jay, originally drafted by the Texas Rangers back in the mid-70s, left unprotected in the expansion draft because of his wildness, basically. Blue Jays drafted him in 77, of course. He was able to develop in their system and became a All-Star in 1982, their lone representative of the All-Star game in 1982 of the Blue Jays. Played between the years of 77 and 91. Nice, long career. Of course, you see him on the 90 tops as an Astro. Mr. Jim Clancy, nice return from him, nice signature, and nice to get these cards taken care of. Let's move on, guys, to our next return. NOLA for our next return here, as we are nearing the end of this week's Through the Mail Monday. And we got some more vintage here. We've got Mr. Ron Swaboda signed a 74 Topps Yankees team card, as well as a 67 Topps Mets Maulers, along with Crane Pool there. And there you guys go, 72 Topps. And I got the 69 World Series Championship inscription on the other card. Very nice return from Mr. Ron Swaboda, who, yes, you saw not that long ago when I said to myself, I got to get that Yankees team card signed, and I did. Spent the final of his 9-year career, spent the final 3 years of his 9-year career with the Yankees, sandwiching the Expos in there. He went from the Mets to the Expos for, I don't know, a couple months maybe. Ended up on the Yankees for the final 3 years of his big league career. Nice return from him, $5 a card. Nice to get that 74 Topps card signed by him. I'm going to have to send it off to some more Yankees. If you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments. We'll figure it out. Get that Yankees card full of ink before it's all said and done. And yes, I was going to send that Mets Maulers card to Crane Pool first, and I should have. And it still might have been too late, but at least I wouldn't have felt so bad about it. But yes, Crane Pool passed. I was planning on getting that card completed, and I knew of the card for a longest time, and I'm not sure why. Just as a big Mets fan, that should have been like completed 4 years ago, and it wasn't. So that's my fault. But there's just so many cards out there and so many players. It's just sometimes stuff just gets lost in the shuffle. So there you guys go. Mets Maulers, unfortunately, only signed by Mr. Swaboda. Of course, I'm sure tons of you collectors out there probably have it completed, but it is what it is. Let's move on, guys, now to our 6th return of the day. Santa Ana, California for our next return. We just got one more to go after this. One of my favorite Saints, of course, Anna. And we've got a Jim Hughes card, SSPC, autographed wonderfully there. 78 Topps card, signed as well. Of course, he had a 4-year career, spent all of that time in Minnesota, got into 78 total games during that period of time as a pitcher. Never played for the Chicago White Sox, but ended up on a 78 Topps card anyway with, from the appearance of it, looks like a painted-on hat. Even looks like a painted-on polo. What a strange photo of Jim Hughes there. Painted-on hat, by the way. Shout out to Baseball Card Theater, who all of you should be watching and subscribe to. A great channel that It Cometh an Egg turned me on to a few months back. Jim Hughes, there's information. Orange, California, of course, that's where I am right now in L.A. again. I know, I was just at the Dodger game last week or 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whenever that was, and now I'm in LA once more, and of course you guys will find out about that in probably a couple of years. Well, I'll let you know. I'll tell you about it. I'll keep you updated. What a tease. Let's move on, guys, to our final return of the day. Tampa St. Pete for our final return of this week's Through the Mail Monday. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hit that like button before you scurry off to do something else. And we've got a signed index card from Mr. Joey J. Man, I am glad to see these cards come back. He said, thank you, Chris. Yes, that was a great era in sports. Joey J., who passed away literally about a month ago, end of September, I do believe. Joey J. was a 13-year big league career guy, 8 with the Atlanta Braves, 6 with the Cincinnati Reds. In fact, he was a Cincinnati Red Hall of Fame member. 1961 All-Star, 99 and 91 with a 3.77 ERA for his career. An original bonus baby back in 1953, signed for $20,000 to the Milwaukee Braves. And of course, that means they had to keep them on his, they had to keep him on their roster, big league roster, for the first 2 years. That's right. He started a game. His first game was a complete game shutout at the age of 17. Back in 1953, once those 2 years was up, he did go back to the minors to get a little bit more experience, but really good career for Mr. Joey J, with a great name, Joe J, Joey J, whatever you want to say. He was the guy for quite a number of years there in Cincinnati. So nice return from Joe J. Glad to get this done and back, of course. Obviously, the information is irrelevant at this point due to his passing, but some more vintage. Nice way to end off this week's Through the Mail Monday. Thanks, guys, for watching. Hit that subscribe button. I do this every single week. I've done it for the last 304 weeks in a row without fail, of course. Hit the like button and comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of this week's returns. And here is the haul. Look at that spread of cards from vintage all the way to, what, 1994, 95 maybe. The most recent card, recent in air quotes, because 95 was like 30 years ago. So anyway, my friends, yes, I am in Los Angeles right now with my wife this time. She would not let me go by myself a second time, but did go with her. We're having a great time, I hope. You can, of course, follow me on Instagram at ChrisCards86, where I post a little bit more personal stuff about what's going on. And I do travel a lot and do a lot of things, so I don't know. Maybe that'd be interesting. Maybe it wouldn't be interesting. I'm leaving it up to you to decide, and decide whether it's right for you or not to find out what I'm doing. It's not very interesting. It actually is very interesting. I just can't talk about it, so that sucks. And then by the time I talk about it, you guys will have long forgotten about this video and me talking about it right now. So all that stuff's irrelevant. So thanks, guys, for watching. November 18th, of course, Thanksgiving coming up very soon. Next week, I do believe. Black Friday coming up. Don't know what that means for any of you. Of course, that means I'm staying the hell away from the stores because it's a nightmare. No, thank you. I also hate the word doorbuster. God, they use the word doorbusters now everywhere, including online, which does not make any sense to me whatsoever. Doorbuster. Doesn't work. Can't do it. Impossible. And I hate that it's like a buzzword now. It's like, it used to be like, oh, your deal's so good, everyone's breaking the doors open to get into your store to get these deals. You can't use that as advertising. A doorbuster that's an organic event that happens. It can't be something that's manufactured by, advertising companies, and it's just frustrating to me, and that's really a big complaint I have. And that's it, guys. That's all I've got to say. Thanks for watching. See ya.